Okay, so we all know that feeling, right? That little flip in your stomach when you're nervous, or maybe just that sense of unease. We call it a gut feeling.
Hmm.
Well, turns out it's not just some vague idea. There's actually real science connecting our, physical gut to how we feel emotionally.
Exactly. And that's what we're really digging into today, this incredible link between the digestive system and our mood, our mental health. People often call it the gut-brain connection.
Right, the gut-brain connection. And we're basing this on some really interesting material looking into the truth about gut health and your mood.
Yeah, some solid insights there.
So our mission for this deep dive is to kind of unpack how this whole gut-brain thing works and maybe more importantly, pull out some actual practical steps listeners could try. Ways to potentially boost mood and well-being by, well, looking after your gut.
Makes sense. A really practical focus.
Okay, so let's start there. This gut-brain axis.
Yeah.
What is that exactly? You said it's a connection, but how does it work? Is it like a one-way street?
Oh, definitely not one way. That's what's so fascinating. It's this constant dialogue happening between your gut and your brain all the time.
A dialogue?
Yeah, back and forth. They use this whole complex network, nerves, hormones, even signals from your immune system to pass messages along. Think of it like a really sophisticated internal internet.
Okay, an internet.
Hmm.
And I've heard about one specific cable in this network, the vagus nerve. Is that a big part of it?
That's a huge part of it, yes. The vagus nerve acts like a major information highway, a direct line running right between the brainstem and your gut, essentially.
Wow, okay, direct line.
So if things are a bit off in your gut, maybe there's some inflammation or the balance of bacteria isn't quite right.
Like the microbiome.
Exactly, the microbiome. Those issues can actually trigger distress signals that travel right up that vagus nerve straight to the brain.
And those signals, they don't just stay as physical feelings, do they? They can actually show up as, like, mental stuff.
Precisely. That's where you might get things like increased anxiety or that feeling of brain fog where you just can't think clearly.
Brain fog, yeah.
Or even just a generally low mood, feeling irritable. It can all be linked back to those signals coming from a troubled gut.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. That feeling of unease could literally be unease in your gut, sending messages upstairs.
It really could. It shows how physical discomfort can have these very real psychological knock-on effects, like static on that phone line, right? It just makes everything feel a bit off.
But hang on, it gets even more interesting, doesn't it? Because it's not just the brain sending orders down. The gut itself is actually producing some key mood chemicals.
Yes, and this blows a lot of people away. Something like 90% of your body's serotonin.
Serotonin, the feel-good chemical.
That's the one. Often called the feel-good chemical, though it does more than that: sleep, appetite. But yeah, about 90% of it is made in your gut, not primarily in your brain.
90%, that's huge.
It is staggering.
That completely flicks the script on where our feelings come from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Suddenly, gut feeling sounds less like a metaphor and more like, well, biology.
Exactly. It suggests our digestive system is deeply involved in actually processing or at least influencing our emotional state.
Okay, so if the gut is so important for mood, what are the things that tend to mess it up in the first place? What does our source say are the main culprits for disrupting that gut balance?
Well, the source points to several key disruptors, and honestly, they probably won't surprise anyone living in the modern world.
Right, let me guess. Diet.
Diet's a big one, especially diets low in whole foods and high in ultra-processed stuff. Then there's chronic stress that's massive.
Yeah.
Also, things like antibiotics. Now, they can be lifesavers, obviously, but they don't just kill the bad bacteria. They can really do a number on the beneficial ones, too, like collateral damage in your microbiome.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Lack of sleep is another major factor.
Right.
And not getting enough dietary fiber, which is basically food for the good gut bacteria.
Right, all those things sound pretty familiar, unfortunately. Stress, maybe not sleeping enough, processed foods. It's the standard modern package, isn't it?
It really is. It highlights how our lifestyle directly impacts this crucial gut environment.
So if those are the problems, let's talk solutions. What can we actually do to support our gut health and, hopefully, our mood along with it? What does the source suggest?
Good question. So moving towards positive action, The source really emphasizes adding fermented foods.
Fermented foods,
Yeah,
like yogurt.
exactly. Yogurt with live cultures, things like kimchi, kefir, even sauerkraut. These foods contain probiotics, beneficial bacteria.
Probiotics, right, the good bugs.
Yep, the good bugs. Eating them can help positively shift the balance in your gut microbiome. And the source suggests this could link to better mood and even focus.
Okay, so adding things like kefir or kimchi, that seems doable. What else? What about feeding the good bacteria we already have?
Ah, yes, that's where prebiotics come in. Think of them as fertilizer for your good gut bacteria.
Fertilizer, okay.
They're mostly types of fiber that we can't digest ourselves, but our gut microbes absolutely love them. Foods like garlic, onions, bananas, oats, they're packed with prebiotics.
Garlic, onions, bananas, oats, common stuff. So eating those helps the existing good guys thrive.
Precisely. You're nourishing your internal ecosystem, helping it become more diverse and resilient.
Now, we mentioned stress earlier as a disruptor, but let's circle back to that because it feels so important. It's not just a mental thing, is it? Stress physically impacts the gut. I definitely feel it in my stomach sometimes.
You absolutely do. And that's a perfect example of that gut-brain axis in real time. Chronic stress isn't just in your head. It can physically change the gut environment.
How so?
It can potentially increase gut permeability, what some people call leaky gut, and it can even shift the types of bacteria living there, sometimes favoring the less hopeful ones.
Wow. So managing stress isn't just about feeling calmer mentally. It's actually about gut health, too.
It's totally interconnected, which means all those things we hear about for mental well-being, mindfulness, exercise, maybe therapy. Yeah.
They're not just helping your brain. By reducing your stress response, they're likely also helping create a healthier, more balanced gut environment.
That's a powerful connection. A calmer mind potentially leads to a calmer gut, and a calmer gut might feed back into a calmer mind.
It's exactly that kind of positive feedback loop, yeah. Or a virtuous cycle, maybe.
Okay, I like that, a virtuous cycle. So let's boil this down. If someone listening wants to start making changes today, what are, say, 3 really practical, actionable takeaways from all this?
Okay, 3 key things. First, look at your food. Try to consciously eat more whole, unprocessed foods.
Mm-hmm.
Fruits, veggies, lean proteins, whole grains, the basics. And at the same time, maybe try to reduce the ultra-processed stuff. That gives your gut bacteria the good fuel they need.
Right. Step 1, more whole foods, less processed stuff. Makes sense. What's number 2?
Number 2, actively manage stress. Find techniques that actually work for you. It could be deep breathing for a few minutes, journaling, getting outside in nature, listening to music.
Whatever clicks for you personally. Exactly. Consistency is more important than doing something elaborate. Just integrate small pockets of stress reduction into your day.
Okay, proactive stress management. Got it. And number 3,
Number 3 is about the fundamentals, really. Prioritize hydration, drink enough water. And prioritize sleep. Try to get sufficient, consistent rest. These basics have a massive impact on your gut health, even if they seem simple.
water and sleep.
Yeah.
Simple, but maybe not always easy to prioritize. Crucial, though.
Incredibly crucial.
And the good news here is that you don't have to, completely change your life overnight, right? Small steps count.
Oh, absolutely. Perfection isn't the goal here at all. Maybe just start by adding some yogurt to your breakfast a few times a week, or try a 2-minute breathing exercise when you feel stressed. Small wins add up.
Progress, not perfection. I like that.
Exactly.
And maybe the biggest takeaway is just to start listening. Listening to your body more closely. That moodiness or fatigue might actually be your gut trying to tell you something.
That's such an important point. Tuning into those signals, both the physical feelings in your gut and your overall emotional state, can give you really valuable clues about what's going on beneath the surface. Your body often knows.
So wrapping this up, the core message seems pretty clear. Taking care of your gut isn't just about digestion. It could be a really powerful way to take care of your mind and your mood, too.
It absolutely can be. Which leads us to sort of a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Think about your own gut feelings, those little nudges, sensations, intuitions. Could they be more than just random feelings? Maybe they're part of this deeper conversation happening inside you, linking your physical state with your emotional well-being. It's definitely something worth exploring further for yourself.